What is going on, you guys? Petplatypus here, and it's time to talk about Dragon Ball Super Episode 95. I do apologize for not making videos for the past few days. I've been sick, and technically I still am sick, but I'm feeling a little bit better today, and I can definitely get this video done, because I do not want to miss talking about this episode of Dragon Ball Super, but we'll get to that. As far as other videos I had planned, like the Sony E3 conference video, still happening, Nintendo E3 video, still happening. Got a lot to say about both, so I'll definitely still make them, even if they're not performing as well as I would have liked. Like, all these E3 videos as a collective aren't really performing that well on my channel. Not blaming you guys. You guys have your preference. You might not be interested in that kind of thing. You might just be interested in my anime content, and that's perfectly understandable. So yeah, it's not blaming you guys at all. They just aren't performing like I would have liked, but I still want to talk about them because those are my two favorite companies. Definitely don't want to miss talking about those. Got to catch up on My Hero Academia. Probably just going to review the newest episode tomorrow. Got to finish Attack on Titan. That'll probably happen at some point this week. I really want to get back into doing videos regularly, at least almost every day for a couple of days to try to catch up. Hopefully I can pull that off unless I get busy and life gets in the way. But anyway, you're here to watch me talk about Dragon Ball Super, or listen to me talk about Dragon Ball Super, and this episode of Dragon Ball Super was fucking awesome. They are really selling Frieza. Like, they are really justifying bringing him in. He has been so awesome and so badass these last 3 episodes. It's out of control. I mean, they have just been jerking this dude off to no end in these episodes, and there's a lot of tail to stroke. Okay, joking aside, they are really selling Frieza, though, and I do think it was a great idea to bring him in. I think we can all agree on that at this point. Well, I mean, I guess not. I think everyone's going to kind of have a preference. A lot of people are going to say, it should have been Boo. A lot of people are going to say, it should have been this person, or they're tired of seeing Frieza, and nothing the episodes do are going to sell them on the idea of Frieza. And if that's your perspective, I understand. They have used Frieza like 4 times in canon, and like 1,000,000 times in movies and specials and stuff, so I guess I can understand if you're just done with Frieza and you really don't want to see him here. But I think they're doing a great job selling him. They're really justifying him being here. He's an absolute badass. He did some Fist of the North Star shit in this episode, bro. Like, come on now. Like, that was awesome. The Heat Seeker, death beams from every finger. That was dope. The close-ups on him in this episode were great. His mental training, that was cool. I mean, Frieza in this episode was just absolutely on point. He took control of God energy. That was badass. It also helps that the animation in this episode was great as well. Like, when those beams are going through all of those fucking fodder, like, assassin guys, it looks great. The episode is storyboarded by Naotoshi Shida, and you could tell. Whoever animated that scene really took inspiration from Shida in terms of the movement and everything, and the way the whole shot was set up was very, very Shida. I mean, what can I say? The dude's a fucking great storyboard artist and a great animator. The dude can do it all, I swear. He's great. He could probably even be a good supervisor since he's so good at drawing. I don't know if I'd want him to be a supervisor because I'd rather him be focused solely on key animation and not having to correct other people's work because he's such a slow worker. But still, we even actually got animation from him in this episode at the end, which was a nice little treat. It was conservative and not too much going on, which I'm actually happy about because that means he can do something more substantial for the Tournament of Power. Because I was a little bummed seeing him. I was like, oh, this is dope, and the art's out of control, and it looks amazing, but there's a part of me that's disappointed seeing him pop up before the tournament starts, knowing how slow of a worker he is. I mean, I know you can't rush perfection, but still, he only pops up once in a blue moon, so it would have been nice to see him pop up in the tournament, but that seems to be what's going to happen. It looks like he did tweet out saying that he probably will be doing something for the tournament. He said he thinks that's where they're going to put his next scene. So he's still working on the series. That's really, really cool. We'll see where he pops up. This might be a pretty long battle. There might be a lot of episodes of fighting because, I mean, if he's going to do another scene, then they got to put a lot of fighting episodes in there. So we'll see what happens. The production of this show is almost more interesting than the show itself. It's just so chaotic. But yeah, I don't really have much else to say about the episode. The final scene from Shida was great. The rest of the episode had really solid animation. The close-ups on Frieza were incredible. The shine and detail was so good. Of course, like I said, Shida's art was on point and on fire and absolutely out of control. So there was some Tate in there because he was a supervisor on the episode. He didn't pop up a ton, but his art was fine for the most part. I don't like the way he draws Beerus, but That's like one of my only criticisms of Tate in Dragon Ball Super. I think he's done a really good job overall in all of his episodes, except for 5, which wasn't really his fault, but yeah, he does a great job for the most part. Like I said, I don't like the way he draws Beerus. That's just my preference, but yeah, this was a great episode. It had really good art, really good animation, great use of music. It was well paced. They finished the stuff with the assassins. Frieza is scheming. There's good story progression. That's pretty much it. And the ring is done. The ring is finally done. So yeah, can't wait to see where things are going to go next week. It looks like we're going to have Yukihiro Kitano supervising. He's the worst supervisor on Dragon Ball. If you don't know, he's responsible for Dog Beerus, and he's the supervisor of episode 24, and he's really bad. But he's had a pretty steady gap since his last episode. It's not going to be the actual tournament starting. That's probably going to be the week after. So, good place to put him. That was good. Either him or Yashima would have been a good choice for the next episode, and we'll have to wait and see how things go from here. But yeah, like I said, production of this show, very, very interesting. Almost more interesting than the show itself. But yeah, I really enjoyed this episode. I'm going to give it a solid 9 out of 10. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. Great characterization on Frieza. Everything else I said about the episode. Fuck, I'm jerking off Frieza at this point, but I really do like what they're doing with his character. But anyways, what do you think of what they're doing with Frieza's character, and what do you think of this episode? Go ahead and tell me in the comment section below. You can also give this video a thumbs up and share it on social media. Both those would help me out a lot. Subscribe if you haven't already, or if you like what you've seen here. Click that little bell to get notifications when my videos go up. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.